Welcome to the world of giant cod fishing vessels, warriors of the sea. To bring back this precious seafood, fishermen have to face the harshest conditions in the vast and icy ocean. Today, we will explore the journey of cod fishing vessels using the longline fishing method, a traditional but extremely effective fishing technique, helping to harvest cod in large quantities, while protecting the marine environment. From the cold waters of Norway to the Bering Sea, these hundreds of meters long cod fishing vessels are the heart of the global cod fishing industry. Follow the experienced fishermen, discover how they overcome difficulties to bring home the freshest catch. Inside the cod fishing vessels using long lines are often specially designed spaces to suit the process of catching and processing fish. These vessels can vary in size and equipment depending on the specific fishing location and method. But there are some common features that stand out. On board, there is usually a complex system of machinery to cast long lines out to sea and reel them in after baiting. These lines can be many kilometers long, with thousands of baited hooks. The machinery is designed to handle large volumes of line quickly, increasing the efficiency of the fish harvest. Once the cod is hauled aboard, it is processed immediately. The fish may be gutted, sliced or kept whole depending on the requirements. The fish are then put into a cold storage compartment, often using ice or a blast freezing system to keep the fish fresh throughout the trip. This is the area where the fish is processed, such as cutting, cleaning and preparing the fish before being put into storage. Crew members often work in wet and cold conditions to ensure that the fish are kept at the right temperature. Fishermen's sleeping and living quarters. Large vessels usually have sleeping, dining and living areas for the fishermen. Although the rooms are often quite cramped, they provide enough amenities to ensure that the fishing crew can rest after stressful working hours at sea. The vessel will have a control room with full positioning equipment, radar systems and marine environmental monitoring technology. The captain and crew will use these devices to search for and monitor the cod schools during the trip. Ocean fishing is a dangerous job, so the vessel is always fully equipped with safety equipment such as life rafts, life jackets and other rescue systems to respond to emergency situations. Overall, longline cod fishing boats are professional machines, equipped with the latest technology to ensure that the catching and preservation of fish is quick, efficient and safe. Longline fishing is a popular fishing method, especially for species such as tuna, swordfish, cod, and shark. This method uses a long line with hundreds, even thousands of baited hooks. Here is a detailed process of how to fish with long line. Main line. The main line can be from a few kilometers to tens of kilometers long, depending on the scale of the fishing trip. Snood or gangion. Smaller lines are attached to the main line at regular intervals. Each snood will have a baited hook attached. Float and anchor. Float helps keep the main line afloat on the water surface or at the desired depth. Anchors are used to hold a section of line or the entire system in place in a particular fishing area. Each hook on the branch line is baited. The bait can be small fish, squid, or artificial bait depending on the species of fish being caught. Fresh or live bait is often preferred because it can attract fish better. Setting the line. The long line will be dropped from the back of the boat, usually in the early morning or late afternoon, when fish are often moving to find bait. The line setting process takes place while the boat is moving, helping to spread the line over a large area. Buoys and anchors will be dropped with the line to ensure the line stays at the desired depth. After setting the line, the fisherman will wait for the fish to bite. The waiting time can last from a few hours to a night, depending on the environment and the species of fish. During this time, a buoy system and a positioning device, possibly GPS, will help the fisherman track the position of the line. Hauling the line. After waiting for a sufficient amount of time, the boat begins to haul the line up. The line will be hauled up slowly by machine or by hand depending on the size of the boat and the equipment on board. When hauled up, the fish that has been caught will be lifted out of the water, and the fisherman will remove the fish from the hook. Processing the fish. After the fish are hauled up, they will be processed right on the boat. The fish can be cleaned, gutted, frozen or preserved in ice to keep them fresh before being brought back to shore. If large fish such as tuna or swordfish are caught, they can be gutted on board and placed in blast freezers to preserve the quality of the meat. The process of dropping and pulling the line can be repeated several times during the fishing trip. Depending on sea conditions and the number of fish, fishermen can adjust their strategy and timing of the catch. Longline fishing carries the risk of injuring unwanted species such as seabirds, sea turtles, or small sharks. To minimize this impact, many fishermen use protective gear, such as specially designed hooks, or dropping the line at the appropriate depth to avoid bycatch. High-quality fish are caught because the fish are often alive or very fresh when pulled up. Wide catch range, effective in harvesting large fish species in deep waters, may catch unwanted species, causing biological loss. Time-consuming and laborious if multiple drops and pulls are required. The longline method is one of the oldest and most popular fishing techniques, especially in the commercial fishing industry on the high seas. Today, longline technology has been significantly improved to increase fishing efficiency and reduce environmental impact. Circle hooks. This type of hook is designed to reduce the bycatch rate of unwanted species such as sea turtles and small sharks. Circle hooks catch fish at the edge of the mouth, rather than deep in the throat, reducing injury and increasing the rate of fish that can be released. Bird scaring devices, to avoid entanglement of seabirds in fishing lines. Vessels often use flags, reflective tape or sound devices to scare birds away from the fishing area. Deep setting, by setting fishing lines at greater depths, fishermen can avoid catching fish that live near the surface or in shallow water, such as sea turtles and seabirds. Typically, the line is lowered into water layers of 50 meters or more, depending on the target fish species. Tracking equipment. Some modern longline fishing vessels use sensors and tracking systems to monitor the line in real time. This allows the crew to know when the fish are biting, the location of the fish school and the condition of the line, thereby optimizing the fishing process. The use of longline fishing also has to comply with many strict regulations from international and national organizations to protect aquatic resources and marine ecology. Some measures include size and number of fish limits. There are specific regulations on the size of fish allowed to be retained and the number of fish each vessel is allowed to catch. To avoid overfishing, no-take areas. There are areas of the sea designated as conservation areas, where fishermen are not allowed to use long lines or other fishing methods. To protect biodiversity and regenerate fish stocks. Fishing times. Some waters have seasonal bans, especially during the spawning season. Longline fishing is very versatile and can be used to catch a wide variety of fish, depending on the type of bait, depth of line and area fished. Tuna, one of the most popular target species, especially yellowfin, bluefin and striped tuna. Swordfish. Longline fishing is a major method of catching swordfish, especially in tropical and subtropical waters. Cod, in cold waters, especially the North Atlantic and North Pacific. Cod is often caught using longline. Sharks. Some sharks are also caught using longline, especially in the shark fin industry. However, this practice is becoming more tightly controlled to protect shark species from extinction. While longline fishing has many advantages, there are also challenges that fishermen face. Severe weather conditions. Longline fishing often takes place in offshore waters where the weather can be very harsh. Crews must work in rough seas, cold or hot temperatures, and sometimes face storms. Injury hazards. Working with long lines and hooks can be dangerous, especially when the lines become tangled or when large fish are hooked. Crew members can be injured by the hooks or dragged underwater if the line gets caught. Climate change and declining fish stocks. Climate change and overfishing pressure have reduced many fish populations around the world. This has a major impact on fishermen, as they have to travel farther and work longer to find fish. The longline fishing industry is moving towards sustainability to protect future fish stocks. This includes adopting environmentally friendly technologies, adhering to responsible fishing regulations, and minimizing impacts on marine ecosystems. With improvements in technology and regulations, Longline is becoming a responsible and sustainable fishing method that helps ensure future fish stocks. Longline is widely used around the world, especially in areas with large fish stocks and suitable for target species. Here are some popular longline fishing areas. North Atlantic. This area is famous for cod fishing, especially in the waters around Norway, Iceland, and Greenland. Atlantic bluefin tuna is also caught in this area, along with swordfish. South Atlantic. Fishermen from countries such as Spain and Portugal use longline to catch swordfish and yellowfin tuna in the warm waters of the South Atlantic. North Pacific. The waters around Japan, Korea, and Alaska are ideal for catching cod, tuna, and other large fish. South Pacific. Tuna fishing vessels often operate in the waters around Pacific islands such as Fiji, the Solomon Islands, and Samoa. Indian Ocean. This is the main area for catching yellowfin, swordfish, and skipjack tuna. Countries such as Indonesia, India, and the Seychelles have developed longline fishing industries. Antarctica. Some fishing vessels operate in these remote waters to catch specialty fish such as Patagonian toothfish, a highly prized fish on the market. Longline fishing contributes greatly to the marine economies of many countries. Longline fishing not only provides fish for domestic consumption but also generates a large amount of export revenue. Some countries with a strong longline fishing industry include Japan, one of the leading countries in longline fishing. Bluefin tuna from Japan is famous for its high quality and is popular worldwide, especially in the sushi and sashimi industry. Norway has a large cod fishing industry, using longline in the northern seas. Norwegian cod is one of the country's main export products. New Zealand's swordfish and tuna fishing industries are also strong, especially in the Pacific region. United States. Areas such as Alaska and Hawaii are the centers of the U.S. longline industry. Alaska is famous for cod fishing, while Hawaii focuses on tuna and swordfish. Longline fishing, although it has been around for hundreds of years, continues to evolve and improve. The global fishing industry is facing many challenges, such as declining fish stocks, climate change, and stringent environmental protection requirements. However, with investment in technology and regulations for sustainable fishing, longline can continue to be an important method in the commercial fishing industry. Some future developments include automation technology. The use of machinery and automation technology can help reduce labor, increase fishing efficiency, and reduce the risk of accidents for crew members. Development of equipment that does not harm non-target organisms. Research and development of smart hooks and fishing equipment can help reduce the bycatch of unwanted species, helping to protect biodiversity. Smart monitoring and management. Satellite tracking systems, sensors, and AI can help monitor fishing activities in real time, ensure regulatory compliance, and optimize resources. Reducing carbon emissions. With the increasing focus on climate change, fishing industries are also working to reduce their carbon emissions. Fishing vessels that use clean energy, such as solar or clean fuel electricity, are gradually being developed. Longline fishing is an important technique in the global fishing industry. With improvements in technology and environmental protection efforts, this method is gradually becoming more sustainable, bringing great economic benefits to many countries, while ensuring the protection of marine resources for future generations. In the context of increasingly scarce marine resources and increasing pressure from the fishing industry, international organizations play an important role in managing and regulating longline fishing activities. Some of the organizations that play a key role in ensuring the sustainability of this approach include Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO. The FAO provides guidelines and standards for responsible fishing, notably through the Code of Conduct for Responsible Fisheries. This code helps shape national and international regulations on fishing methods, including longline. International Commission for the Conservation of Atlantic Tunas, ICCAT. This organization oversees tuna fishing in the Atlantic region, where longline fishing is popular. ICCAT sets catch quotas and conservation measures to ensure the sustainability of tuna populations. Western and Central Pacific Fisheries Commission, WCPFC, overseeing tuna and other large fish fisheries in the region. The WCPFC enforces strict management measures for longline fishing vessels to protect fish populations from overexploitation. Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora cites some sharks and other marine species commonly caught by longline fishing are listed under CITES protection. This requires countries to comply with strict regulations on the protection of these species when fishing longline. Working on a longline fishing vessel requires special skills and experience. Crew members not only need to be able to work in harsh sea conditions, but also must be proficient in using long lines and handling fish safely and effectively. Casting and retrieving skills. Crew members need to know how to cast long lines without tangling and to place hooks in the correct position. Retrieving lines also requires care to avoid hooks getting caught on people or teammates. Fish handling. After the fish is caught, crew members must quickly pull the fish onto the boat, sort the fish and immediately process them to ensure product quality. This skill is especially important for high-value fish species such as tuna and swordfish. Safety. Working with long lines and other fishing equipment can be very dangerous. Therefore, fishermen need to be trained in safety, including how to handle emergencies, first aid for injuries, and accident avoidance techniques when working with fishing equipment. Apart from the economic benefits and development potential, longline fishing also faces many major challenges, especially for fishermen working on offshore fishing vessels. Harsh working conditions. Fishermen often have to work long hours in unfavorable weather conditions, especially in remote and cold seas. The lack of amenities and living conditions can affect their health and spirit. Risk of occupational accidents. Working with long lines, hooks, and heavy equipment on board can lead to many accident risks, especially in rough seas. Fishermen face the risk of being injured by hooks or entangled in fishing lines. Climate change and declining fish stocks. Declining fish stocks due to climate change and overfishing are making it harder for fishermen to find fish. They may have to travel further, work longer hours and face higher fishing costs. Increasing regulations. The longline fishing industry is increasingly controlled by international and national regulations, ranging from catch quotas to protection of unwanted marine life. This requires fishermen to comply with regulations and update their technology to adapt to an increasingly complex regulatory environment. The longline fishing method is an important and popular fishing technique in the global seafood industry. Despite many challenges, thanks to technological improvements, support from international organizations and sustainable development, longline continues to contribute greatly to the provision of fishery resources for many countries. The future of longline fishing will depend on the ability to balance the demand for fishing and the protection of the marine environment. With the application of responsible fishing measures and the use of advanced technology, the longline fishing industry can continue to develop, ensuring a safe and sustainable supply of seafood for the world for decades to come. In the present era, technology plays an indispensable role in optimizing the longline fishing method. Technological improvements not only help increase fishing efficiency but also contribute to protecting the marine environment and ensuring sustainability in the seafood industry. GPS and sonar systems. Modern GPS systems and fish finders help fishermen locate large schools of fish more easily, reducing search time and optimizing casting. This also reduces fuel consumption, reduces carbon emissions and reduces operating costs. Non-target species monitoring devices, to protect unwanted marine species, such as sea turtles or seabirds. Monitoring technology is being applied. Sensors attached to fishing lines can detect the presence of these species, thereby helping fishermen adjust their fishing techniques to avoid harm. Smart hooks and devices. Hooks can be designed with modern technology to catch only the target species, helping to reduce the rate of catching unwanted species. Some smart devices can send signals to let fishermen know when a fish is hooked, saving time and optimizing the fishing process. Onboard preservation and processing technology to ensure the quality of fish after catching. Many modern longline fishing vessels are equipped with cold storage and processing systems right on board. Blast freezing systems allow fish to be stored at very low temperatures, maintaining freshness and nutritional value until reaching shore. The sustainable development of longline fishing depends not only on technology, but also on measures to manage and conserve fish resources. Strict regulations and conservation initiatives play an important role in maintaining the balance between fishing activities and protecting marine resources. Fishing quotas. Countries and international organizations often set fishing quotas based on the size of the fish population in the wild. This helps prevent overfishing and ensures that fish populations can recover after each fishing season. Marine Protected Areas, MPAs. Many countries have established marine protected areas, where fishing activities are restricted or completely banned to protect marine ecosystems and endangered fish species. These areas play an important role in the regeneration of fish resources and ensuring sustainable development. Sustainability certification programs. Several international organizations, such as the Marine Stewardship Council, MSC, provide sustainability certification to longline fishing vessels and companies that comply with environmental protection and marine resource management standards. This helps increase the commercial value of their products and ensures that consumers can trust the quality and origin of their products. Climate change is one of the major challenges facing the fishing industry, including longline fishing. Changes in the marine environment can affect the distribution and behavior of fish species, altering traditional fishing areas. Rising sea temperatures. Rising sea temperatures can change the habitats of many fish species. Some fish species, such as tuna, may move further out to sea or at different depths, making it more difficult for fishermen to predict and find fish schools. Ocean acidification. The increase in atmospheric CO2 concentrations is also making the ocean more acidic, affecting the habitats of many marine species. This can reduce fish stocks and affect longline fishing in the long term. Changing ocean currents. Ocean currents play an important role in transporting nutrients and maintaining marine ecosystems. However, climate change can change ocean currents, affecting fish habitats and changing fishing seasons. Historically, longline fishing was a manual method, with long lines being dropped into the sea without the aid of technology. However, this method has developed significantly with the help of modern equipment, significantly changing the way fishermen approach and handle fish. Traditional longline fishing. Fishermen often use hand lines, and the casting of lines is mainly based on experience to choose locations with many fish. They use simple hooks and rely more on experience than technology. Traditional fishing vessels are also often smaller, with less automation. Modern longline fishing. Modern fishing vessels are equipped with automatic line dropping and retrieving devices, which reduce labor and increase efficiency. GPS and sonar systems help locate schools of fish more accurately. In addition, modern cold storage systems help ensure better